So today's Friday, the 17th. I had to think. Um, I haven't done a bunch of videos in a while, or for a couple days. Last few days have been really rough. I've been really, really tired. On Tuesday, I just conked basically the whole entire day. I couldn't stay awake. I wake up for a little bit and then I conk for like 2 hours. Just ongoing all day long. I felt so tired and so exhausted. Wednesday, I did go into work. So Wednesday wasn't too bad, but I only worked a few hours. Thursday I had off, which was we had a family thing on Rich's side. So his parents have been married 65 years. Well, on the 19th they'll be married 65 years basically. But we were doing a anniversary celebration for them. So I actually ate really, really, really good and didn't have any problems. So that was nice. And I had a little piece of cake, and that didn't even bother me. Usually, like, bad stuff or sweet stuff does sort of, bother me a bit, but that didn't really bother me. The one thing that I did change a little bit was I started taking vitamin C tablets. We have it because in the aggressive treatment, it was part of the doxycycline, which is an antibiotic that you can take. And when you take the doxycycline, you're supposed to take vitamin C, more like getting a vitamin C infusion, but it goes hand in hand with the doxycycline. Well, at the moment, I can't take any doxycycline, any outside antibiotic. I have to take what the antibiotic is given, prescribed from my medical oncologist. So it's almost identical to the doxycycline, but just a slightly different name. But what I started doing was taking vitamin C tablets, and I'm up to taking 4 a day. And it seems to really be helping because I feel a little bit better and I can function a little bit more. I still get tired if I do too much, but that's, not as bad. So I can handle that. And then we come up to today. So what I was working on was a checklist because I wanted to really try and remember everything that I'm supposed to do. There's the aggressive treatment from the pharmacist in Tennessee of all the supplements and other stuff that I'm supposed to take. And then there's just the checklist of putting that all together in an entire day of everything that you're supposed to do. And you really don't want to forget something, but there's just so much to it. And yeah, you can easily forget something and get behind or whatever. And some of it isn't so bad if you do forget it, but you still want to try and make sure you get everything in, as best as possible. Like the vitamin C I wasn't taking initially because they're very sour. Now, with the way my taste buds have changed and everything, now I don't mind eating them. It's like, I could just keep eating them right out of the jar because it really doesn't bother me anymore. Even them being sour, that doesn't really bother me at all. So, but here's the checklist. So this is what I do. So in the morning, I have my water and I have 2 vitamin C tablets, which I did this morning. And I took my vitamin C tablets. And then next thing I do is the morning aggressive medications. So I get them all out. And then if I don't have the tea made, I'll make it. And I'll just warm it up, And then I put my pectin in it and put my honey because heaven forbid, can't go without my honey. It just sweetens it, makes it taste so much better. And then I eat a breakfast. So that's like the first bit of the routine. So now at some point moving forward, I'll take my next 2 vitamin C tablets, which gives me my 4 for the day. And I think that's what you're supposed to take. I forget. Like at this point, even if you only take 2, I think I'm just going to make sure I always take 4 a day because it really does seem to help a bit. But then there's the water, and that's throughout the day. So I get to a point where, because it's like a big 30, oh, it's a huge bottle of water. I get it down so far, and then I'll put a packet of propellant. So my water is like already done. But now we're looking at flavonoids. So flavonoids can be anytime, really. Somewhere throughout the day, there should be a cup of flavonoids. Usually Rich tries to make sure they're made for me, but a lot of the times there's just so much stuff going on with him working and trying to get things done, and then all the chores and everything else. You just don't always get to it, but usually he tries to. Then the next thing we have is the midday aggressive medications. Those are just like 3 pills, I think. Yeah, I think they're only 3. So they're easy. I don't have to worry about those. I take those, simply. And then basically another tea again with pectin. So I don't make a full cup of tea. What I do is about like a half, if at best. That way I can get my pectin in, get my pills taken, and then I'm ready for the next cup of tea, to put the pectin in for the pills. So I can do that 3 times a day and still get all my pectins in. If I made a full cup of tea, well, it's a little bit more wasteful. So, but I do it in smaller amounts with the tea, so that way I get what I need, and I also am able to take my medications. So moving forward, now it's lunchtime. So basically now I have to find some kind of lunch that I eat. And if I eat around 1, it's probably better, because usually I try to eat like about every 2 hours, 2.5, maybe 3 at best. And I know when my stomach wants food because I'll feel it. I also need to take my regular pills. So I have a blood pressure pill and a cholesterol pill. Whatever. I've had that for a while now. But I get those taken, amongst the other stuff. So I usually use the tea with that too. And then the last thing, and this is the end of the night, is the evening round of the aggressive meds with the last cup of tea blended with the pectin. So that's basically, that's the checklist. And like, if I don't think about it or like have it in a sense in my head, or if I don't see it here, I mean, I've been pretty good with going through everything, but I have missed like 1 or 2 things. Like for 2 days I missed my regular meds, which I totally forgot about because I hadn't refilled the bottles. I refill my bottles for the cancer stuff every when do I do it? Do I do it Saturday? Yeah, either Saturday or Sunday. I forget which day I actually do it. Now I'm thinking about it. But I usually try to get that done, and then I try to do our regular pills. And the regular pills, I have one size for me and one size for him, so that when I take the regular pills, I always give him his stuff. Well, I hadn't refilled the regular pills, so I'm behind. And and I forgot. So there's like 2 days worth of pills that I forgot to take. So, oh well. So that's one thing you got to remember. But I said to Rich, I was like, I need to make a checklist so that I know I'm checking things off. Like, I'm doing this and I'm taking this. For the most part, I know I am. But again, there was the regular pills. I forgot them. So that was one of the things I forgot about. Trying to make sure, the flavonoids, well, he pretty much takes care of that. So sometimes I'll bug him for it. He found a way, if he makes them in more like a hot cocoa, because they are chocolatey, I can take them better and they're not as bad. So, but beyond that, taking the vitamin C so far has seemed to really boost my levels up, like my energy, and I feel a little bit better. I still get tired because I'm doing too much, but I do feel a little bit better the last like day or 2 now, where I'm more, more awake and aware and active and stuff. So there's my report. Peace. So mote it be.